You guys were back to back, like Drake said a couple years ago. Brian, Javon, and Sean were back here. You guys is early. I just woke up like 20 minutes ago. My bad. What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
You can tell who worked from home on Friday. He just said he woke up at
Hey,
8:20 this morning.
I know. I got it at 3. My boy's in town
nicely.
from Boston, so I got up. I'm up. I wanted to do this because this last 2 weeks cycle has been a lot. After I saw the Dodgers last night, I was like, I gotta say something.
Hey, Sean, it's fine. I work from home every Friday too. So you
Oh,
can
do you?
you
Okay.
can
All right.
I go into the office on Monday, Tuesday. I always got a reason to stay home Wednesday. And I go in Thursday. That's it.
Only times I actually leave my home, to be honest with you guys, is Tuesday and Wednesday. But every other day I work virtually. So
Because
Tuesday and
look,
Wednesday.
you gotta understand the way I view it, the way I tell my bosses, you see me in the office, you shouldn't be happy. Because that means I have no phone calls scheduled for the day. And the more I'm in here, then you know what I'm saying?
I
The
don't.
Y'all should not want to
less
see
is
me.
going on,
But they, for
right?
some reason, they just want to see you at the office for some reason. I don't know why. So hey, y'all got it. Because I hate taking phone calls in the office because I got my own way of doing things, my own way of talking to people.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know exactly what you're saying.
you know what I mean? I don't interview like I don't interview like Joe Schmo around the corner. You know what I mean? So yeah,
You
like I said,
Baltimore, man. You
you know what I mean?
Baltimore.
First time I talked to Fran Brown, that brother compared recruiting to slinging dope. You know what I mean? Some
Wow.
52-year-old white dude ain't gonna think that's the proper interviewing technique. So you don't want me in the office. Is all I'm saying, bro. I swear, hey Frank, hey Sean, on my soul, I walked in that office.
Oh man.
I go to give Fran the normal, how you doing? Eh, uh, uh, uh. I know how the day about to go. Say
You know
less.
you know
We
exactly what
talking,
it is.
boom, boom, boom. They like, man, we both was in Philly. I'm from Camden. You from Baltimore. This like moving dope on the wire. You got a bad package. Ain't nobody gonna shop with you. I say, yo,
Wow.
I might actually have that recorded. I swear. Oh my goodness.
Oh
Yeah, man.
man. That's a good quote. That's an
Yeah.
amazing
That's
quote.
a quote.
So every time I talk to somebody for something that's got to do with Syracuse football, that is my friend story for them. Everyone has one too.
That is funny. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Oh man.
Guys,
Anyway,
go ahead. You going to kick
And
it off?
with that,
with
Yeah. I don't even know how you transition from that.
hey, no, I got you with that. We're gonna go to the city that they used to get their package from, the Big Apple. John Harbaugh's a New York Giant, a 5-year deal worth a little more than 100 million, or at least in the range of $100 million. You made it very clear Wednesday, even with spotty connection, we understood you had a very, very, very critical viewpoint of John Harbaugh. Now your connection's clear today, and I'm gonna really let you go ahead and spew your thoughts on what the Giants are getting.
so let me come off of my soapbox half a step, right? Fairness. The Giants needed a shot in the arm. Is Harbaugh the savior? Grand? No. But is he better than anything they've had? Dable, Joe Judge, need I go on? Absolutely. His pedigree, his resume is worthy of the money, I'd say. Interesting that you get a pay raise after getting let go from a world-class organization like the Ravens, but I digress. It's New York, so what do you expect? What we hope to see, or Giants fans hope to see, is him start afresh and start from the ground up. Something he didn't get the chance to do in Baltimore. Remember, just again, he inherited a Super Bowl team that included the likes of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and a Joe Flacco who was ascending and gambling and betting on himself, took a meteoric rise to the top and won the Super Bowl. That's what he inherited. And then soon as those guys got out of the building, it was apparent that, Harbaugh type guys are close but no cigar most cases, and he was on the hot seat until Lamar single-handedly resurrected his career. And so what we will see is if he can take a Jackson Dart who has a great upside, lots of potential, and groom him into a elite quarterback and a Super Bowl contending quarterback. That defense is solid, lots of pieces there. I really do like the defense. Time will tell. They've got to improve offensively in terms of the offensive line, protecting Jackson. They've got to teach Jackson Dart not to take big hits and not be as reckless. I think, year 2 or 3, he'll get the hang of that. And, we'll see. It's a division that they can win. I mean, the Eagles are going to decline just by the nature of how their season ended, and they're going to probably lose some key pieces to what was a Super Bowl contending team. I don't think the Cowboys are going to drastically improve. Time will tell. So this could be a good opportunity for the Giants and for John Harbaugh.
I've got to disagree on 2 things. So, I'm only partially disagreeing on one. The first is that he inherited a Super Bowl team. Billick got let go because they were no longer truly a contender, at least in my eyes. So 06 was, we all recognize 2023, 2011, and 2006 were the 3 biggest what-if seasons in Ravens history. And I always put 2014 at 4th. 06, that defense was great. Then McNair stunk it up in the playoffs. God rest his soul. Then 07, it just was clear, Billick's not the guy anymore. Harbaugh comes in 08. His career begins alongside Flacco and Ray Rice. So he had a hand in choosing a few of the key pieces that helped get the Ravens over the hump. He was there when they replaced Derek Mason with Anquan Boldin. He was there for the drafting of Dennis Pitta to replace Todd Heap. Dennis Pitta and Ed Dixon for that man.
Well, let me cut you off. When you say he was there, that's a great way to put it, because reality is, we know the Yoda
and you're right about that. I will have no disagreement. He was there for it, because that is the only way you explain guys like Lawrence Guy walking out the door, guys like Matt Judon and Zadarius Smith walking out the door, and I'm saying becoming who they were once they left. A guy like a Darren Waller, who is a preseason Hall of Famer for the Ravens, he could not get on the field, and then became the monster that he was for the Raiders before some personal demons got a hold of him. So I wouldn't say he inherited the Super Bowl team.
Fair.
But
the talent.
We know the optimization of the talent had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
That was, you finally fired Cam Cameron and got Jim Caldwell in the building. And then
the best decision he made.
You got rid of Mark Trestman and finally got Gary Kubiak in the building. And then there hasn't been a good offense coordinator hiring since, except for Mark. Because, we had to deal with watching Marty Morningweg and Greg Roman, which is nasty business. And then the second thing you said was, you're almost marking it as a guarantee that the Eagles are going to get worse. I'm marking it as a guarantee, and Sean's probably going to back me up on this one, that the Eagles are going to get better. This is a very cyclical team. They win, they lose their staff, they stink the next year. Then Howie Roseman steps in, because Sirianni very much like Harbaugh in this department, where the GM kind of has to do everything to make him look good. Howie Roseman steps in and builds the staff, and then they look great again. And then that staff leaves, and they go down. It's going to be a real cycle until they get rid of Sirianni. So this is going to be an offseason. I won't be shocked. 2 years ago, it was go all out and do whatever you can to go land Kellen Moore, right? I wouldn't be shocked this offseason. It's go all out and do whatever you can to land Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Do that, and they're going to be right back to storming through the NFC East again, top 3 seed in the NFC, and you're going to have confidence in them in the playoffs. It's going to come down to what defense they play on if Jalen Hurts is going to do anything. It's always that simple thing. So I won't guarantee their decline, which is what gets me to find.
But you're also looking at an older Saquon Barkley, which was, they leaned heavily on Saquon for that Super Bowl.
He'll be fine. He only played an extra game this season. They only had a 1-game playoff run. He's going to get all this rest, and he's going to get an offense coordinator in that's not going to have all those stale runs. The Eagles had the same problem the Ravens did. No creativity in the run game. Straight handoff, and everybody go downhill, hand on the head. No pulling, no trap, no wham blocks, no nothing. Just straight up run the ball. That doesn't work in the NFL. You have to move the defense around. It's like in basketball when you're playing against his own defense. You got to move them around. That's all the run game is. You got to get that defense moving to create lanes to open up for your running back. And they don't use a lead blocker either, which makes that a little more difficult. So that being said, 5 years, $100 million. Sean, I want you to listen to this. He's about to be paid $20 million a year to win zero NFC East championships.
In 5 years? In 5 years?
Zero.
Who do you have faith to in that division? Washington? The Eagles aren't going to win it for 5 straight years.
The Eagles are going to be – they're going to win 3 of the next 5. Easy.
Wow.
Easy.
Whoa. We know that they're going to sign everybody. They can't sign everybody on that defense and keep that offense. They're going to have to –
Howie Roseman is going to win 3 of the next 5 division championships in the NFC East. Easy. And we love to bag on the Cowboys. It's America's favorite pastime at this point. You love bagging on the Cowboys more than you love baseball these days. But let's be honest. That team is literally a defense away. They are defense away from contending with the Eagles to go back and forth every year in that division. I trust.
No. I just got to call you on that. Who has the better roster? Who has the better roster, the Giants or the Cowboys right now?
Right now, if I had to bet, if I had to go off of who would win head up right now, I'm going Dallas. The Giants might have the better.
Yeah,
the better.
That's not the question I asked. That's who had the best roster.
The talent might be more evenly spread out through the Giants roster.
Yes.
And I still trust the Cowboys as the better team. Yes. Because at the end of the day, that Giants secondary doesn't do anything, which means you got a shootout on your hands. I'm trusting that with CD and Pickens in a shootout over the Giants any day of the week. That's just me.
That Giants defensive line is light years better than the Cowboys defensive line.
And what is the guy?
No question.
No, the bad coaching. Let's see who's the best coach in that division right now.
It's got to be Harbaugh, if you ask me.
Or that is a nasty division of coaches.
Harbaugh's the best coach in that division right now.
Yeah.
Let's call space.
And who's he going to bring
at the moment? Now, Sirianni.
I want to know who his DC is going to be. I want to know who his DC is going to be because we just watched Zach Orr for 2 years.
And let's
if that's a repeat in New York, it's going to be real bad. And that's my thing, Sean. You're saying who's the best coach in that division?
Yeah.
If there are 3 teams in the NFL that know how to lose a game in the fourth quarter, it's the Ravens.
Yep.
It's the Packers. You want to know who the third team is?
Who? Eagles?
The Giants.
Okay. I know who.
Go look at their games this season.
Okay.
That's a team that knows how to lose a game in the fourth quarter. So you're replacing that with the coach that's literally the worst at losing games in the fourth quarter. This is not going to work out for the New York Football Giants. I'm telling you, you're going to see more of the same stuff. You might see 1 or 2 wild card appearances in this 5-year window. That's fine. But it's going to be more of the same old mumbo jumbo. Can't win more than 1 playoff game. Losing games in the fourth quarter. Not going to win that division. They're just not. And then on top of that, you're still developing a young quarterback. We saw Todd Monken with an established Lamar Jackson. What's he going to do with a Jackson Dart who we are really going to treat this year as a rookie year part 2? Hey, new coach, new coaching staff, full season. This is going to be really, if this for baseball, this would be still a rookie year for him. So let's see what you're doing with a rookie quarterback also.
But I have a question. Yes, was it yesterday, 2 days ago we did this, and you said that if you were Harbaugh, you would take the Falcons job, right? You said that. Why?
I like the pieces on the offense more than I like what the Giants have.
Okay, so all right, so you like the pieces on offense,
and I like the defense ain't far away either.
So you in the division probably helps too.
Yeah.
Do you think that quarterback wise has Penix show you more than what Jackson Dart show you in these?
Neither one of them has shown me anything.
No, but that's not the question. Who has shown you more out of those two guys?
Again, neither one has shown me anything.
No, come on.
I think they're the same.
No, come on. No, that's
I don't see
anything, call you that.
I have not seen anything special from either one of them, Sean.
Wow.
And I'm not as low on Penix as you are, and I'm not as high on Dart as you are.
If I'm looking at it from outside perspective, just my perspective, and with the roster they have in New York and what they have in Atlanta, and I think Atlanta is a good job. Stefanski should get that job. I haven't seen anything that Penix was exciting, anything that he's galvanized the team. He looks like everything I thought he was. He doesn't have the arm strength. All that stuff I thought he was coming out of college. He belongs to the NFL. Everything I thought, I'm like, he throws a nice deep ball, but does he make any intermediate throws? At least Dart, he galvanizes the franchises, galvanizes a fan base. He's made some really good plays, and he has a running ability that they would call him like, quote unquote, Josh Allen. I'm not saying he's Josh Allen, but with some coaching in a structure, I think he will have better success than Michael Penix Jr. So that's one. Go ahead.
Here's my thing, though. Don't we credit Brian Daboll as being the best thing since sliced bread for developing Josh Allen the way he did, though?
Daboll lost his job because of the leads, and he couldn't coach the whole team. But he did a good job with that.
So it's got to be the same thing with Harbaugh. But also with this whole Dart thing, in terms of galvanizing the team,
he did.
It ain't hard for somebody to get the screaming for you when they're dealing with Russell Wilson every day. We all know how exhausted the league has gotten of Russell Wilson. Anything makes you happy other than Russell. They would scream for Jameis if Jameis were the only other quarterback in the room.
Jameis played, and he didn't galvanize that team like Jackson Dart. Come on,
they got a boost from him.
Listen, remember I said this a couple of days ago.
Jameis gave us a classic game this year. We ain't gonna do that.
No, we're not.
Gave us a classic this year.
He'll give you one a year. We know that. That's Jameis's MO. He's going to give you one to be like, yo,
he's slightly ahead of Geno Smith in that realm.
Yeah, he'll give you one. So I'm not knocking Jameis, but you're telling me that Dart did not. We said this before. Is he hasn't came. He brought that energy, that fan base revival, even for a team.
He brought some energy, but that doesn't mean you brought any results or substance to it because he did it.
He's a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a rookie quarterback. Like, what are we talking about? He was better than who was in that rookie class last year.
I am evaluating him off of what I thought of him in the draft and what I saw last year. Once again, I just don't see anything special in him as a long-term prospect. That's all.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Well, I'm not going to argue about that.
And I've been saying all week with you, I think Chambliss is the better Ole Miss product than him.
Yeah, you have said that, so you stand on that. But I would say this though: you have to. Again, when I asked you about the roster, because I thought about it this morning, I was like, the roster is the second best roster in that division, and that's where you start there. And you have a young, to me, promising quarterback, and he has a history of winning. Like, it's not. Let's not make it. He hasn't even got over the hump, but have they made the playoffs consistently in Baltimore? Yeah, they consistently. You guys have always been in the playoffs, a couple years here and there, but consistently you've been in the best division in football. So for this year, you've been consistently winning. The NFC East is not the best division in football. And I agree. Mike McDaniel, go take that job, the OC job in the Eagles, become the next high NFL head coach candidate in next year's cycle. He'll have any job he wants, right? Cool. They'll be good. But I know at some point they're going to fall off because you can't pay everybody on that defense. They're young. Jalen Carter hasn't even got his deal yet. How much is that going to be? That's going to be 150 M's at least. At least.
And they always hit on the draft, though. They know how to make it's a revolving door in Philly. They do their thing. They know how to build a roster in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I agree.
What the concern has to be for them is when the void years on some of these deals starts kicking in. Because the Eagles and Dodgers are in the same spot right now. It's when the void years and when the deferred years start kicking in, that the concerns are there for them. So again, in this 5-year window, Philly is going to win at least 3 of those division championships.
That's fair, but let's talk about this. Who's the second best GM in that division? Joe Shanahan's done a really good. But why has he kept his job? Because the talent that he's put together on that team. There's a really talented team.
What does he put together?
We're not gonna.
Let's really talk. Come on, I want to know who he put together.
Scatterable. I love just on the offense. Dart, Scatterable, Neighbors. I love those guys. I think those guys can be.
We talking about
foundational pieces
because you keep losing. You keep drafting the top 10. I would hope you put a team together.
All right, we'll use this as an example. The San Antonio Spurs. Everybody could say they've probably been the best franchise over the last 25 years in the NBA, best run franchise. They had to get lucky 3 years in a row to get Harper, Castle, and Wembanyama. You have to get lucky too to have high draft picks. No, John.
Hold on, Sean. That was going through the rebuild and all the years before that. They kept filling out the entirety of the roster. That's why the Spurs stuck around for 20 years. The entirety of the roster was good. When we talk about the NFL and drafting, Sean, it ain't about your first round picks. What are you doing on day 2 and day 3? That's what I'm asking myself about the Giants. Because I'm looking at the team, I'm not seeing anyone from day 2 or day 3 except Wan'Dale Robinson. I want to say was maybe a day 2 guy that is standing out. I'm not seeing it.
But you acted like you can't miss on day 1 guys. We've seen a history of people missing on day 1 guys.
And they lose their jobs. That's
my point. Joe Shane hasn't lost his job when the coach lost his job because he's built a good rod. I don't care if he picked in the top 5. Listen, the Raiders get the first pick. If they get it wrong with Mendoza, who are we going to blame? We're going to blame Brady, right? If he gets it wrong. You still got to hit just because you got the first pick. You still got to get the right player. So you can't discredit someone because, they get high picks. I just use the Spurs as an example. They got the first pick, the 4th pick, and the 2nd pick. Those are the picks. And they hit right on those picks.
The NBA and the NFL is completely different on how you build a team and run your front office. Completely different.
So you're saying
you tell me who we're gonna go through each position group on the Giants. I want you to tell me who stands out. Who stands out in that secondary?
No one. That secondary is bad. No, I'll agree with that. Linebackers, I can't say.
Linebackers stand out to you.
I think the strength the defensive line. I don't think anybody on that linebacker in the corner. And I agree. But listen, why did he built a really good defensive line. The offensive line is not as bad as everybody think. And he got 3 foundational pieces on offense. What else do you want him to do? Like he has to fill out the rest of the roster. I agree. Free agency drafting.
So I'm just not seeing what makes it such a great roster. That's my whole thing.
But
what makes it such a great roster?
But the thing is, the Cowboys and the Commanders, quote unquote, Commanders won the division. Cowboys a couple of years ago from winning 10, 12 games. It turns around like that. You can't tell me those rosters are better than the Giants roster, talent-wise.
Do the Giants stand a chance? Sure. Are they going to do it? No.
I think that it was high up on the list. I think it was the best. Yeah, I think I said it. Them and the Falcons were the 2 best jobs available. Oh, the Ravens. The Ravens are the best job available, but I forgot about them. But he wasn't going to get those 2 jobs. And I think Dart is going to be better than you think. That's it. You've been wrong. Josh Allen, you didn't like Josh. Josh is the best quarterback in the league.
You give Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, Stafford, number 1 passing defense in the league.
Come on,
they're not walking into the playoffs as the 6th seed. Yeah. And I got news for you. This is supposedly the most wide open year in the AFC. Actually, not supposedly, it is.
It is.
He's not going to get to the Super Bowl. So
we'll see. We'll see. I got money on that on Saturday. But I would tell you this. That playoff game he played last week in Jacksonville, better than any playoff game that guy in Baltimore played. Any playoff game. Easily. So I don't until that guy in Baltimore. I don't want to hear him.
Josh Allen's definitely the 2nd best quarterback in the league right now.
Okay, yes. So any
well. Stafford's better than Allen, but
he's better than the kid in Cincinnati, and he's better than the kid in Baltimore right now, and that's all I'm going to say.
Dude in Cincinnati can't stay healthy.
Not my fault.
Hey, best ability is availability.
Exactly.
But as soon as he loses, though.
We'll
Just
talk.
know,
We'll talk
we're
next
gonna be
week.
right here on this podcast.
We could do an extra side bet. I'll put
And we
50. We could do an extra side bet. I think he goes into Denver on
I'm
Saturday.
also excited to see what Harbaugh does with New York media because he was given a pass.
He was
by
let off the
Baltimore
hook
media.
far too often in Baltimore.
Absolutely.
Yes.
New
Now,
York
and when
media
he's
is
going
a
to be on
lot more
ESPN
relentless.
every morning, and he's got to deal with Bart Scott and Chris Carlin on the radio every day. He's got to deal with Michael Kay and Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg and Mike
Dog.
Francesa and Chris Russo and Stephen A. Smith. All those cats in the New York City media every day. We're going to see Craig Carton. We're going to see Boomer Esiason,
Chris Canty, yeah.
Chris Canty.
Based off that, I would have took the Atlanta job to the division, and I wouldn't have to deal with the media like that. I'm being real. That would have been the path to lethal resistance. Remember those Patriots dynasties? When that division was horrible and they were dominating all those years. That helped them get those 1 and 2 seeds all the time.
Yeah, no question. Buffalo sucked, and Miami's been bad since Don Shula and Marino left.
Exactly. We gotta call it space bay. That made their path really easy. It would have been easier to get 1 and 2 seeds in the NFC South. Just is what it is.
All right, Sean, your boy Jonathan Kuminga has demanded a trade from the Warriors. Your thoughts on the process?
Oh man! First of all, I saw something yesterday that he said that he felt he was forced into that contract. Good thing he did sign that because it was on ESPN. I have to send it to you. Good thing he did sign it because the way they're not playing him the last 12, 13 games. At no point next season, if I had cap space, I was giving him $24 million or whatever he's making this year for $48 million over the next 2 years. So don't feel forced. You should be lucky. And his trade value is still high because he's 24, 23. People, Sacramento like him, Dallas teams. I haven't seen enough of him to be like, I'm going to spend that money and give a first round pick on him. So he ain't my boy because I don't remember last time I even said Jonathan Kuminga's name. He hasn't played. So it's just time. And Steve, you could clearly tell Kerr don't like him. He don't like Kerr. Simple that.
And it's one of the rare occasions where I'm on Steve Kerr's side because I'll just leave it at this. I'll let you go. Steve's a skinny 6'7" with no jump shot.
Exactly.
What are you going to provide for me? I don't see why he thinks he needs to be on the floor and why he thinks he's somebody he just isn't in the first place.
Yeah. Totally underwhelming career. I don't know what the buzz has ever been about him, quite frankly. He's not a defensive stopper, which could supplement the lack of a jump shot, like you said. He's not even extremely explosive off the ground,
Whoa. I'll stop it right there.
Yeah, he's really
that's a freak. That's one of them African dudes. That's my knock on him. He's one of them African dudes. He can do all the jumping and running and none of the basketball. That's my problem with him.
Well, he is explosive. He's just not. He can get it. He can get vertical. He's got athletic ability. He's just not super fast. And that's kind of what I was alluding to.
So, I don't know about that either. You get him on the break, and ain't many people keeping up with him.
You think so?
I think you got a wrong scouting report on him.
His athleticism is his. That's the only reason I think he's an NBA player.
Calling card is the athleticism.
Well, okay.
Athlete.
No handle, no jump shot.
But compared to most in the league, he's middle of the pack for me. It does, he's not Leandro Barbosa where they called him the blur, right? That's the point I'm making. Like there's not and Barbosa became a better player over the course of his career, but initially he was just speed personified coming into the league. That's not the Kuminga story. Nonetheless, the point I'm making, and it really, I'm echoing your guys' sentiment, it's hard to put him on the floor. There's nothing to demand the necessity to, even, and this is an indictment on him, even with a very aging Warriors team. So that tells you something right there. I just don't know where he would go that would revitalize his career in a major way. I mean, there's some bad teams in the league, but I don't know. Maybe he goes to Brooklyn and replaces MPJ because he's on the block and likely to go land with a better team. So maybe you go there and you're one of the pieces for a really bad team. We'll see. Or I mean, the one that could make sense if he went to Indiana, because the fact that they're a one-man band there, Halliburton being hurt has totally derailed everything that they built over the last 2 years, says that they're void of depth. And so maybe if he goes there and gets an opportunity to play, he just increases their potential.
I like that.
Well, Indiana's issue is that they also, knowing that Halliburton was done this year, they messed up and just packed it up and went home in the offseason. They let Miles Turner walk and didn't bother replacing him. Like, no, they've got holes because for some reason they don't know that Andrew Nembhard is actually a natural point guard and is having a pretty good season. And they just gave him nobody but Siakam and Mathurin to work with this year. I'm actually very mad at Indiana's front office because they could have gone back to the playoffs this year.
Agree.
Easily. And learned something about themselves and who they are without Halliburton, which would have helped them in Game 7 against the Thunder. So if we're going to say anyone had by far the worst offseason in the NBA this year, to me, it is Indiana. Indiana is to the NBA what the Commanders were to the NFL in 2025.
Great analysis.
With that being said,
I disagree with that, by the way. Indiana did the right thing.
But they want to end up with
high draft pick. So,
with the Banster.
The Banster.
That should be
Peterson
their number one request. And then, I mean, hey, Peterson, then you got a chance to move Benedict Mathurin for the small forward you need anyway. So you're going to get something that you need this year. So it turned out to be a great strategy, somewhat. But, yeah, you could have went either way. And this way probably is the way that really gets you over the hump. Because instead of relying on Carlisle to figure it out coaching-wise, as GM, you just took it into your own hands and decided you're just going to improve the roster overall. So I'm not mad at that. But the bottom line for me remains, and I'm just saying, we got to stop drafting athletes in the NBA. Basketball ain't about athleticism. Basketball always has been and always will be about skill and IQ. Running and jumping only gets you so far on the court. You don't have a jump shot. You don't have a handle. It's on you. And stop this dumbass positionless stuff too. Kuminga, you have the body of a small forward. When it comes down to the nitty gritty, and you're trying to play him at the floor all day, which is what the Warriors have tried, it's not going to go well for him. It's just not. Because even if you play one of these small ball teams or whatever, all right, cool. At some point, you have to tag and be the low man. At some point, you're going to have to be in charge of getting the board. It's not going to be him.
Mm-hmm. If I was him, I would, how like Kobe mirrored Michael Jordan's game, like everything, like how you chew gum. I would mirror how Jimmy Butler plays. That's his blueprint of how he can be effective.
I don't even want to hear about Jimmy Butler no more, bro.
No. I'm just saying. But just his body type, because Butler's not the most talented ball handler, jump shooter, things like that. But the grit, how he plays, that passion, like I would.
That's the last time we've seen that, though.
Oh no, he got his money and he's checked out.
Mr. Regular season really don't matter, and now you ain't delivering the playoffs. No, man, go ahead, man.
No, his
Butler's past his prime, but I get the sentiment you're making. Like, model yourself after someone. Yeah. No, I get it.
That would be my guy. That would be
my. Forget all that. Get your ass in the gym and make 1,000 threes a day this summer.
He needs to work. I really question Kuminga's work ethic. There's improving, there's plateauing, and he has not improved from his rookie year.
Yeah, it comes down. It's that simple. Like, let's stop all this personal trainer stuff every off season. No, just get back to old school working out. Get to the gym, make 1,000 jumpers every day from 3, all 5 spots on the floor. That's 200 shots made, not attempted, made from each spot on the floor every day, point blank. Period.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. I don't know how Unc's going to feel about this one, Sean.
All right, so the Dodgers keep on. It's like the new offseason. They get the new shiny toy. It should just be like written. The Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker to a 4-year, $240 million deal. The second year and third year contains an opt-out. So correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, he's a Dodger. The rich gets richer. Unc, you can go first. I'll definitely go last on this one. I'll defeat it.
Well, happy days are as a quasi Dodgers fan. My second team, of course, I'm loyal to my Orioles, but until they turn things around, it's fun to watch Dodgers baseball. I'm a Magic Johnson fan, so he's part of that organization. So yes, the rich are getting richer, and it's funny, I can hear the cries from New York. Why? Not fair. Yeah, give me a break, right? Kyle Tucker, young, strong outfielder. It's only just, it's just only fitting for their narrative, right? They go and get that player that everyone else wants, that no one else can get for the money that they were willing to pay. I just wish I could go back in time and relive my youth and really hone in on my baseball skills, do what Kuminga didn't do, get in the lab and make myself a better player, because man, I'd have an opportunity to get paid. So.
Okay.
Yeah, all fine and dandy. I don't think you can be mad at the Dodgers for spending money, because you make the money back, and they proved it. Sean, how long have we been on this podcast saying that too? If you spend the money will return to you.
It does.
The Dodgers have figured it out, and they're doing it. I don't want to hear the cries from the rest of baseball. This is on y'all. You had 20 years to spend your money, and you chose not to. So guess what? The Dodgers are going to keep cleaning up, keep building these teams, and be unstoppable. This is no one's fault but baseball's. Why? Because you allow these cheap-ass owners that have bought these teams just to be business assets instead of actually caring about winning. You've done it to yourselves. Shut up and stop crying about it. The only complaint I have, got to get deferred contracts out of baseball.
Yeah,
And the same thing with void years in the NFL, where you can borrow from future salary caps to supplement your team this year. Nah, we got to get a little more restrictive of the cap in these sports. There is no salary cap in baseball, which presents this problem. Deferred contracts is what has gotten me to come around on. We need a salary cap in baseball. Here's what you have to spend this
It's the
year.
Wild West when it comes to baseball money.
Yeah, here's what you have to spend this year. Here you go. You're going to go over it. You pay the luxury tax. I care far more for the NBA's luxury tax rule than the NFL's void years rule. Yeah. I think we've got to get into a salary cap, which establishes the real issue in baseball, which is a salary floor, with a luxury tax of, I'll go 10 cents on the dollar, to be honest with you.
No, it needs to be penalties like the NBA does, how you could build your team, because this is ridiculous now.
And the only way you go into the luxury tax is if you're re-signing to keep your own players.
I'm all for that, because that's what the NBA should do, especially like OKC. You should, if you build a draft them, you should be able to go over the cap for that. Yeah. I agree with that. But like, what is this? Like, they have an all-star team. Like, come on. Like, let's be
honest. Let's be honest, Sean. Your gripe is that they beat your Yankees to this idea. That's if we can get that out the way first, then we can have the rest of this conversation.
I agree. I'm sour grapes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm being real. It's a genius idea because it's taking advantage. They found a loophole, and I'm always big on this. You find a loophole in anything. People find loopholes with the IRS and taxes. I never get mad. I'm like, that's smart. I'm like, why did I
know I'm looking for one.
You have to. I'll give you guys some game afterwards after the show. So remind me about that. But I'm just mad about that. I saw it and I'm like, I'm out last night and I'm like, yo, what the heck? it's the deferred money thing that bothers me. If it was just straight up, hey, I'm signing these guys and it's all equal, I'm cool with it. But if they didn't do this deferred money, what would their salary cap be? What would be their number? I think it'd be like over $500 million. Like I know they make all their money back from Ohtani. It's their cash and money, just in overseas in Japan with him. But it's not fair. They're gonna win their third straight title, and they're gonna be the poster child of what. I'm not mad if baseball doesn't have a season in 2027 now. Until it gets right, it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying we know baseball, you can have the best team and not win. So it's still gonna be a good season. But they're more likely than not. If I was
always increase their odds.
Yeah, honestly, I'm picking the Dodgers over the field right now to win to win it. And that's not cool. Like their odds are probably over 60%, 70% of winning the World Series. And they're just stacking. And no other team could do it because no other team has Ohtani, who's just a money bank for them overseas. And then they got Yomata. They got come on, it's not.
But hey, that's the Giants' fault because the Giants have the same opportunity to capitalize on the Japanese market.
It's not the same.
They didn't do it.
San Francisco and LA is not the same. It's like Boston, New York. Like it's not the same.
Pocket wise, you can compete.
You could. The Mets could compete too. Like, but do I want to live in Southern California with the best team? Live in LA, 29 years old from Kyle Tucker. I don't know if he's single or not. I'm gonna live there over New York. Like, I'm just gonna. And I love New York. I'm from there. I love New York. But I also gotta say something. I gotta call you two guys out. I gotta say this. I never met two sports fans who affiliations with the Ravens, the Orioles, the Lakers, the Dodgers. Like, this doesn't make sense. You got to pick something and stand on it. Now you guys are Dodgers fans, and if you guys were real Orioles fans, you guys would be like, "Yo, this doesn't make sense." But now, when comes October,
so ChatGPT explained it well. We're Baltimore bred. We have a national outlook. We are appreciative. We're loyal to our Orioles and Ravens, respectively. We're appreciative of iconic organizations.
No, Brian, I gotta call you out. You said the other day you were a Panther. You go for the Panthers too. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, so
that's just a matter of politics. That's me being PC.
I live in Atlanta.
I live in Charlotte.
I live in Atlanta, and I'm never gonna say I'm going for the Hawks.
I lived in Philly for 4 years, and I kept telling them, "Stop trying to convert me. I'm not going to be a fan of your teams." And I wish misery on all Eagles and Sixers fans all day of the year. So I can't rock with you on that one. No, Sean, you know my thing. The Orioles for my lifetime caused me so much pain. They're always number one, but once their season's over with, you gotta understand. I grew up not seeing them in the playoffs much. So I had to find.
You don't know winning.
I had to find an October team. That's my thing. So as soon as the Orioles are out, all right, come on, Dodgers, get me over the hump. That's it. That's the only team.
But that's why you guys are not as outraged as me, because you guys are playing with house money. Because if the Orioles win, you guys are happy. If the Dodgers win, you're happy. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's not like, hold on. It's nowhere near the same joy between the two teams, at least for me. Like, the Dodgers win, I'm like, woo. I wish it was the Orioles. But if it's going to be anyone but the Orioles, might as well be the Dodgers.
And then I see Javon.
It's not like that for any other.
No, I gotta call it Javon out. And then I see more IGs talking about Mike McDonald.
Oh, see, that's my head coach right now, man. Yeah, it's just not the first year you've ever heard me do that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Because that dude is supposed to be my head coach right now.
Yeah,
they let him out.
Salty on that one.
Come on, you gotta feel me on this.
I give you that you let young Bill Belichick leave the building. That's not. I agree with that. You can't let that guy leave the building. I would have fired Harbaugh.
Now ask me if I'm talking about the Seahawks next year.
No.
Right. Come on, man. Yeah.
The
Lakers, come on. You already.
I grew up watching Showtime.
I love Kobe. Kobe was my favorite player of all time.
Shaq, man.
Yeah, I get that. But I just got to call you guys because I'm listening to I'm like,
who do we have in the NBA? And don't say it either. I swear to goodness.
I won't say Washington. I don't. No.
Okay,
Yeah,
like our generations have nothing to do with that franchise.
I don't consider that. All right, so maybe I can co-sign that because I don't consider ball. When I think of the Wizards, I never say, "Oh, the DMV." I think of Washington. I say,
like, DC doesn't even have Wizards fans.
Exactly. I wouldn't either. I heard that. I don't know. I've never been to Capital One, but I watch podcasts and like it's like a ghost town in there. Like no one goes there. It's so quiet.
You go there. The only time that stadium, that arena fills up is when a good team with a superstar comes to town.
Like the Lakers.
Pay to go see them.
Yeah. Right. That's bad.
It gets filled up for the Warriors. It gets filled up for the Lakers. That's about it.
I think it's a crime. It's a place like here in Atlanta. I'm going to go to the Celtics game tomorrow with my boy, and it's going to be 90% Celtics fan. Places like Atlanta and DC, they have good markets.
You know what's funny? I think there might be more Celtics fans in DC than Wizards fans. I'm not serious about that too.
I'm not surprised. It's sad. Those two good markets that should really be really good NBA markets, but they're wasted. Exactly, they're wasted.
All right, you're a former coach and you're a good influence on young men's lives. You know how to provide some guidance, at least to the knuckleheads that listen to it. Ja Morant could use some of that. The Memphis are trying to trade the wannabe YN. I don't know if you watch It Is What It Is with Cam and Mace. They had a brother on there who summed it up perfectly. Ja Morant needs to go to a city without much hood culture and a good front office so he doesn't feel the need to prove that his blackness. That was the best description I had ever heard on it. And Memphis is definitely one of them cities that's up to no good these days. Your thoughts on how we even got to this point with Ja Morant and who should even be interested in him?
Well, who should be interested is a very interesting question. He's still box office material, still young enough. He can give you something. What's going to wind up happening, he's going to become your Latrell Sprewell. And I'm not just saying that, I'm saying it in totality. Tons of talent, athleticism, all-star potential. Sprewell was a bit of a head case, but it wasn't until he relinquished his necessity for star power and joined good teams and bought in that way that his career at least sustained more prominent success, finals appearances with the Knicks and that kind of thing. So that's where we are with Ja, even at this early stage. I mean, he still probably thinks he's the man that can carry a franchise. I just don't know because there's a lot of pressure that comes with being the face of a franchise. And at one point we were talking about him as the face of the league. Clearly, neither of the two will probably be the case for him at this point. Could I be wrong? Of course, there's always the opportunity for redemption. I doubt it, though. I just don't think he's going to change his stripes that much. So if he buys into an organization that will give him a little bit of wiggle room for the antics, but rein him in, like you said, and he really pairs with the right star and takes the second, seat, he becomes a Robin to someone's Batman, it works.
So I agree with everything Brian said. I would say this: the clear team is Miami, and the reason I say Miami is the structure. I understand everybody thinks South Beach is South Beach, but there's a whole different side over that bridge. So I know when you're talking about like the hood culture and stuff like that. So that's a whole different side, especially in like Little Haiti and stuff like that. So, but I do think that Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, they don't play those games. UD is still around the organization. He needs a strong coach like that. And then by Miami, I look at the team and we do NBA notes, me and Javon. So I see the stats and their standings. And they've been in media. And what I always say, Javon, about being in the middle, they've been in the middle. I know they went to the finals like 3 or 4 years ago, but that was at the 8th seed. They're a middle-in team. And Miami's such a great market, such a good organization. I think you take a shot on someone. Tyler Herro's a good player, but Ja's upside is way higher than Tyler Herro. I thought Ja was going to be the face of the league. So at this point, if I'm Miami, I got to take a shot at him because I'm paying Tyler Herro. He's going to want a contract extension for $50, $60 million. I ain't paying Tyler Hero that type of money. I'm going to go get me Ja Morant and try it out. Like, I think that Miami's at that point, they got to start going big fish hunting. And even if it's names, but it's not even just names because he has the potential. I just think he needs the right organization to bring it out of him. And that's the organization. I don't see him going to Sacramento doing it. He needs to be in Miami with Pat Riley and the boys.
Well, I wouldn't wish the Kings on anyone, and that's not even just Laker fan talking. That's just knowing the NBA. I got a homeboy that's a Bengals fan. I was telling him yesterday. That's exactly those are the same two franchises. The Bengals and the Kings are each other of their respective leagues. And Ja Morant's got the same problem I was saying with Kuminga. One of these athletes that thinks they're supposed to just run and jump all day and not improve their skill. Why does your jump shot still look like that of a middle schooler's? And that inconsistent.
Yes, yeah.
Like,
no, it's true.
The foundation of his shot is just god awful. And it just gets worse. He came into the league rookie year, 33.5 from deep. His second year, 30. Year after 34.4. The year after that, 30. The year after that, 27. Last year, 31. This year, 21. Your career 31% shooter from deep. Get in the lab. What I just don't get why we don't work to improve in the NBA anymore. He's averaging less than 1 made 3 per game this year. Like, decrease your attempts, first of all, and then get in the lab and improve your shot. That's your problem more than anything off the court right now. But then, off the court, your daddy needs to stop trying to be your friend and be your pops and tell you to stop trying to be something that you ain't. Like, he just needs a whole change of everything. Then you're beefing with Vince Williams at practice over there in Berlin the other day. Hey, Sean, I got news for you. The Grizzlies' best starting lineups are with Vince Williams at the one and not Ja Morant. And Vince Williams ain't even a point guard.
Vince Williams, Cam Spencer have better seasons than Ja Morant this year. That's sad.
So, you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
Together. I just cannot stand.
And listen, if he goes to Miami, you think Pat's gonna let his dad be on courtside being all goofy like that? Like, no, that's what I'm saying. It needs to be.
He might not even be in the arena.
That's exactly what I'm at. Like, his dad ain't gonna be first. Yeah, his dad ain't gonna be courtside like that. And he needs some structure. Miami's the perfect place. If he wants to be, if I'm him, I'm like, I need, again, just taking accountability to be like, hey, I want to do this. But that's the organization. You live in South Beach, those state income taxes, but it's the structure, the military style discipline that guy needs. Because
it's discipline, but then if you're saying he, in that sense, replaces Hero, then it goes back to my point. Who's he? He's still Batman there. So it'll be structured, but he won't be happy because the pressure will mount. No, the expectations will still be high.
I think it's still Bam's team. Like, I could be wrong.
That's just a nasty statement right there.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but
like, let's be honest. Anything belonging to Bam Adebayo is crazy. Amy Brooks don't even belong to him. He belonged to her. Like, that's Miami's first issue right there.
True.
And you know, they're saying this new offense has hurt Bam Adebayo. If you can't run a simple, you know, drive and kick offense, because that's all they do, drive, kick, replace. That's when because no one runs an offense anymore in the NBA.
I was all picking up.
Well, you know what? I'll take that back. Nick Nurse actually runs something in Philly.
And the Warriors run something.
The Warriors run something.
Yeah.
It's hard to find teams that actually get into something consistently down the floor. And I credit Nick Nurse for it because he doesn't even have a point guard. He's starting two guards, 2 small forwards, and Embiid over there and running a system with it. So hats off to Nick Nurse. But down in Miami, first of all, the season went downhill when they were off one Friday. It was during college football season. And they had Bam and Norman Powell. I think Udonis Haslem got them to come on the show and literally break down their whole offense. The Heat have stunk since then. What are you doing? Why are we going on TV and showing the world how we run our entire offense? How much of a jackass do you have to be? Like, come on, man. We got and then again, Gary Line on Bam Adebayo to get you buckets. That's never been him. Again, that's just the hard-working African dude from Kentucky. What are we doing here? This is Khalil Ware needs to be your future, okay? Norman Powell's a good 2-guard. It's time to actually get a 1. I like Davion Mitchell as a backup point guard. I love him as a backup point guard. I don't know if he can be your starter. Him and Jose Alvarado, same thing. Andrew Wiggins can go. Hawkins can go. Jovic can go. Like, the Heat, that's another team. You live in sunny South Beach. You're supposed to get whoever you want. Yeah, but you're never supposed to just be in the play-in all the time, man.
The problem with them is they have the Pittsburgh Steelers syndrome, because I just heard Art Rooney come out and saying that we want to compete and win championships. At some point, it's like anything in life. Until you look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm not that, you won't make any changes. And Miami has to look in the mirror. Pittsburgh Steelers need to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, we ain't what we think we are. We need to rebuild.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. Because that middle and talent that Miami has, what it gets you 6, 7, 8 seeds every year, like one lucky, I don't want to say lucky, but one run to the NBA finals. And if Tatum wasn't hurt, I think they lose. The Celtics come the first team to come back from Rio. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. Those franchises, they think too much of themselves, too highly of themselves. They can't rebuild. It's too better. I just don't believe in that.
But even on the Ja Morant side of the equation, though, right? It's also, do I want him? And it's me thinking of if I were a GM, me coming from where I come from. I'm coming from where he comes from. I done seen a lot in my day. You want to talk about living in the slums. I used to live 502 South Smallwood Street. If we didn't have at least one drive-by a week, somebody called out sick or is a special occasion. On the real. Sean, I'm not making it up. I didn't see a dude get shot in his ass. We used to have the barricades on our block at least twice a month. So nobody could get in or get out through Wilkins Avenue and I want to say Pulaski. Like, I didn't seen it. When I see these dudes that came up with these great childhoods, always money in their pocket, you know, you're wearing Sperry's, you know, the white boy, frat boy boat shoes is what you were wearing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, why do this?
And you want to come from? No, we wish we had your life. What are you trying to be like this? This ain't nothing to glorify. I do not like people like Ja Morant. I really don't. So I wouldn't want him anywhere around. I really wouldn't. It just.
But what franchises, if you can say, take that out of it, would you take a flyer on him? Because that's what it is. It's a flyer hoping that he becomes back what he used to be. He's too talented. There's too much potential.
Who instills discipline in their players?
Miami's the only team.
Right. So.
Miami, and I think it's
because then you got to think about, like, even if it is a good franchise, the city. I do not want him in Detroit. He might get himself killed in Detroit. He might get himself killed in Chicago.
Well, he's not replacing Cunningham
for a star. No, well, Sean knows. I believe you can put Cade at the 2 and unlock his full potential. But he's making some great plays at the 1 this year. So I'm not even hammering down on that anymore. I just love how he's playing this year.
He's the best version of what Luka and James should have been to turn into.
He is the best version of that little combo guard thing.
Yeah, yes.
But he can get himself killed in Detroit. He can get himself killed in Chicago. He can get himself killed in LA. New York got a bunch of fake gangsters, but he can make himself more of a headache than anything in New York. He's got potential to get himself in trouble in DC. Memphis is a terrible spot for him. Maybe New Orleans. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe the Pelicans, I was going to say. You know, the need is great there.
With Zion?
The need is great, and it kind of fits the narrative I'm making.
Do I want fake Project Baby Ja Morant next to porn star Zion Williamson, though?
We're gonna talk about that, but that's a bad culture down there. I would not. I wouldn't. Uncle got off, but I wouldn't do it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Fellas, if you can handle the next 2 segments while I handle something, and I hope I'm back for this transfer portal talk. That would be great. Oh, hold on. Well, Unc just hopped out on us. All right, well, let's move over to Trae Young and the Wizards, though. This trade perplexed me. Trae Young is going to be a Wizard eventually. The trade has gone through, but he hasn't played yet. Apparently, he's not going to come back till after the All-Star break at the earliest. He was sent to Washington in exchange for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. Sean, your thoughts on this one?
It reminds me of what you always said to me, like it only takes one sucker. and you always said that ever since I've known you, and it makes a lot of sense because I don't see, if you're a team trying to be built and it is a top draft, even though he's probably not going to play, like if he comes back, it's going to be some of his knee injury. It's probably going to be a wink deal. We'll give you an extension if you opt out your player deal, similar to what New Orleans. What was that team Toronto did with Brandon Ingram? Did Ingram not play one game and ended up getting 120 million in the offseason? There was some backdoor dealing with that anyways. But I think that I don't get it because I'm like, when you're in tank mode, you got to be in tank mode. That's just how I believe it. I don't believe in because even when you become good and Sarr becomes good, Trey Johnson becomes good, and George becomes good, we've just seen this in Atlanta. Trae Young is not a winning basketball player. So I'm looking at it like, I don't get it. It's not like he's a coach or setter. Like it doesn't make sense. So when people's like, oh, we could get a 27-year-old young also grow with my team, it's like, but grow how? Like what is he doing to grow? What is he making your organization grow better? Maybe he'll fill in some seats because he's very popular here in Atlanta. Maybe that's what they need over there. But winning, doesn't make sense.
So for me, the Wizards need a point guard, but you're going to bring a guy who takes bad shots, holds the ball way too long, all that stuff, onto a team that is already horribly coached. I don't see where the improvement's going to happen, Sean. Brian Keefe has the second worst winning percentage of all time. One person worse than him is Brian Winters. Now I'm going to add Trae Young to that.
Yeah. How does that make you good?
Yeah. That's my only question.
And I think he's stunned it. You see how Jalen Johnson plays with him and without him?
Yeah.
So he stunts them. So I'm like, how's that going to help your young guys grow? Like, what is... I don't get it. I still don't get it.
Like, is Trey Johnson going to get the ball time he needs?
Yeah.
Buck Harrison going to get the ball time he needs? Is Keyshawn George going to get the ball time he needs? Is Alex Sarr going to get the ball time he needs? Is Bilal Coulibaly going to get the ball time he needs?
And then the thing that made me laugh about it was like his preferred destination. No, that was the only destination that was willing to do that.
You think there's a little spin?
Oh,
a little PR spin?
I swear Shams is on the payroll on some of these guys.
Yeah, Shams is let me get this very crystal clear because now we used to not have to deal with this in college sports. Now we have to because the transfer portal is free agency. You have to get in with the agents. The issue is he has become a talking piece for the agents.
Yes.
That is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, you are absolutely right. Rich Paul said it. Shams calls him to tell him stuff to help him out.
Yeah, he said on his podcast, "Oh, Shams calls. I got to pick." It's just I think it's corny.
Like, don't get me wrong. A couple weeks ago, I saw an agent on Twitter that I followed. He DM'd me first. Because I think he thought I was on the Syracuse staff, and I was telling him I'm a reporter. But like, stuff, hey, if you need some numbers on the staff, I can slide some to you. Here you go. then if you got this position, and this position available in the portal, they'll love to talk to you. That's fine. Shams, though, like you said, he is the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
For some of these cats.
Yeah,
that's
he's,
bad.
Yeah, he's on the payroll. He's on the payroll. I don't care what anyone tells me. Like the way he's moved. I'm not saying Woj. Maybe Woj was on it, but I just love Woj.
Nah, Woj was never anyone's mouthpiece. Woj was never anyone's mouthpiece.
Yeah, I love.
And you know who else is like that?
Schefter.
Yeah, I mean the way he tried to spin this whole Harbaugh thing throughout the process.
It was crazy from defense. Yeah, all right. So I thought it was just me. I'm watching. I'm like, why does he keep mentioning? Like it was weird. It was. I don't know. Some of these guys. Well, I can't mad. It's a dog eat dog world. Everybody gotta get their money.
Yeah, I guess. Where we going next, Sean?
So the transport portal winners. So Oregon, they got Raiola. LSU. What else you get? They got kid from Arizona State.
Sam
Levitt, excuse me. In Texas, my favorite for the national championship next year. We're not going to get there early. Didn't they get the receiver? I'm losing my train. Cam Coleman, which was a great
and
pickup.
Hollywood Smothers from NC State, the running back.
Thoughts so far on the portal? What's thoughts?
I would tell you the same thing I told our homeboy Aaron Ball. Texas has no excuse not to have number one offense in the country next year.
No excuses. No. Their excuse will be the head coach, who I don't think is a great offensive coordinator. But I'm just going to say it like that. But keep going.
They have no excuse,
talent-wise, yeah,
not to be the number one offense in the country last year. And I hear they're hosting Jordan Seaton for a visit, the left tackle from Colorado.
Oh, he's leaving. He should leave. Yeah,
that's the prime experiment's coming up on an end over there. Yeah, Texas, number one offense in the country, reached the college football playoff semifinals. Anything short of that, disappointment. Lane Kiffin, you got your quarterback. Ole Miss, y'all need to stop trying to rely on Trinidad Chambliss. Y'all about to be in the same boat as Miami. Matter of fact, Miami's a team to watch today.
Why?
This is the last day for players to enter their names into the portal. And they need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see just whose agent they've been on the phone with and who sneaks into the portal at 11:59 p.m. tonight and winds up as a Hurricane before the week is over.
I'm surprised Raiola didn't go there because at the end of the day, look at the success they've done with these quarterbacks who have come there for a year or so. Even though I think it's good for Raiola to sit a year, and he'll get 2 more years or 1 more year to play, and he'll be our top pick. And quote unquote, I got gas last year about the NFL draft quarterbacks. So I'm not saying that 2027 quarterback class. I'm not saying that. But what they're saying is going to be a deeper class, and then he'll be in the contention for the number 1 pick in the 28.
You know something, though? Who's the one on the podcast always saying, I don't want to hear about next year?
You said it.
And guess what? Louis Riddick put out a long quote saying the same thing yesterday.
I'm not saying that.
All these sports, we got to stop it. Because what has happened is they were so wrong about it for so long in the NBA that when they were finally right about it last year, about how good this class was going to be, no one believed you.
Yeah. I have nothing to say.
I didn't have any faith in Darren Peterson and AJ Dybantsa and Nate Ament and all these cats, this Kingston Flemings and Kobe Burger and all these cats that come, they're going to come out this year until the season started and I got to watch them play. Okay, these draft guys are finally right. So now guess what? It's about to be 5 years of we got to hear Jonathan Givnoni and all of them again swearing they know everything about basketball and being wrong.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's good for him. But Oregon's actually becoming that quarterback factory too, because what they had Nix, Gabriel, Moore, Raiola, like that's becoming the spot. And the money is just Uncle Phil is he's gonna pay. If you want a guy, he's gonna pay. So I would love to see the numbers what Raiola got over there. But I love LSU. Sam Levitt was going to be a top quarterback prospect last year. Didn't pan out at Arizona State. I love him going to Lane Kiffin. He's going to be, if not this draft, next draft, he'll be he has first round talent. I think he'll have first round production. I think he'll be a first round pick.
All right, we got some quick ones before we get out of here.
Yep.
Sean, Joe Dumars, rough start. Very, 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 very rough start in New Orleans. They don't have their own draft pick, and they are 15th in the West.
Make it quick. Atlanta GM has done some really good moves since he's came over. And he fleeced. And I like Derek Queen. Derek Queen's gonna be a really good player. Very, very good player. But in this draft, what Atlanta needs, they need a star and a face. They might get it in this draft based off New Orleans. So shout out to them. And Dumars has, I don't understand. He did a horrible job at Sacramento. At the end of the Detroit team, Rain didn't really do much. I don't know how he got this job. Simple as that.
Yeah, I've got nothing to add to that. Trade Zion Williamson, you got Derek Queen now. Sean, I'll talk to you like this though. I love that hot stove season is back in baseball though. We've got what is it? Bregman to the Cubs, Nolan Arenado to the Diamondbacks, and Ranger Suarez to the Sox. Boston's pitching is going to be hell to hit against next year. For our division, man. I really do.
When they signed him, I was like, that rotation is going to be the best in that division. Them and the Yankees, but I like that rotation a lot. And they might not have the hitting as much. They got some of these guys got to take the steps. Some of these young guys, but pitching wise, and they get the hitting. Them Toronto and the Yankees is going to be a battle, and you guys will have a better year in Baltimore. But I like all these moves, to be honest with you. I was surprised Bregman wants to. I'm surprised Chicago paid Bregman. That's what I meant.
All right. Rich Paul got confronted by Austin Reeves' agent, and I'm happy for Reggie. Stop talking about my client. Stop talking about getting him out of here. LeBron, no one believes you when you say Rich Paul is not the mouthpiece for you, because that's all him and guys like Maverick Carter are worth, just doing your bidding. So let's stop that. And
I'll just say that why, if you're a super agent building a $1 billion company, why are you doing a podcast now? That's all I got to say.
Didn't y'all just let LaMelo Ball hit 8 threes last night to lose to the Hornets? 8 threes in the second half. Yeah. Hey, Rich Paul, worry about what LeBron isn't doing. Same with Luka, not working out. Like I said, trading Luka was not a bad idea for Nico Harrison. It's what he got in return for him. That was the issue. Sean, last thing, the Houston Rockets, they are slumping right now. They hung in there for as long as they could with OKC last night, but ultimately they got whooped.
They seem, for some reason, lack the same intensity as they did last year defensively. And I'm starting to believe this. The Dylan Brooks factor might be effect, because what he left Memphis. Look what's happened to them. Look what he brought to Houston last year, and then look what he's brought to Phoenix. And you can put a value on toughness like that. And so they seem like that. Ime is an amazing coach and it's very tough, but they just seem like they're lacking something. The talent's there. Reece Shepard's playing good. Thompson's playing good. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I lied about that being the last thing. I will say this though with Houston. They played like way more away games than they have at home. I think they're just tired. No team's going to look forward to the All-Star break more than them. They'll get some rest. And then the back half of their season is mostly at home. They're going to turn this thing around. They're still going to be an issue in the playoffs. Adam Silver just screwed them scheduling wise. That guy's the worst commissioner in sports right now. No team schedule should ever look the way theirs does. Last thing, North Carolina, 2 of their worst defensive performances in the Ken Palm era have happened in the last week, and they both have been losses. Granted, Stanford basketball might be back.
Yeah, it looks good.
But might be same old for our buddy Hubert Davis down there in Chapel.
I was just going to say this, and real quick, if another disappointing season, I know they don't like to make a lot of changes in UNC, but the bullseye will be right. The scope will be right on Hubert Davis to me. They've underachieved over there.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what the Cardinals do against Duke on Saturday. Cal, you had Duke where you won them, and then you just let up and started missing all these open shots and everything the other night. Ridiculous. Wednesday night that was. Kansas, completely different team with Darren Peterson.
A threat, come postseason time, because he's like I said to you, he's my number one pick, he's special offensively and defensively. Kid's special. He reminds me of young Kawhi.
Yeah. And AJ that answer. I don't know what he can't do.
Yeah, whoever gets the top two picks. Whoever gets the top two picks, they got franchise level guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got. I am about to spend the rest of my day turning my attention to the transfer portal, which closes tonight. And I hope you all get to enjoy your Fridays, because I sure as hell won't.
Exactly, man. I'm gonna enjoy it for you, man.
We out of here. Enjoy your weekends.